Hey, everybody, it's your favorite gentleman, Marcus Norman of the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. And today, you all are in for a treat. This powerhouse speaker today on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I've been looking forward to this interview for the past week, two weeks, because this woman is the truth. I always bring you guys the experts, the above all experts. And this woman has graced us with her presence today on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. And she's going to spill the tea. No pun intended. That was not planned. But what she does is phenomenal in the industry of CBD, which we all know is a growing industry, and it's something that's kind of creeped into your eardrums from friends and families, and we don't really know what to talk about. So today, I have the expert here today that's going to spill some of the tea, not all the tea. You got to get the rest from the tea from her website. So stay tuned. Stay with us. Here we go. Welcome to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Today, we have the incredible Miss Brooke Alpert. She is a certified holistic cannabis practitioner, a nationally recognized nutrition expert, and a best-selling author. She has to write the book. We need this sauce. She's also the founder of the B Nutritious, www.bnutritious.com, a private nutrition counseling and consulting practice in New York City. Miss Brooks' interest in cannabis particularly started in the CBD industry, and it came from her trying to help her husband manage his debilitating autoimmune disease. Did I mention she had a heart of gold, y'all? Heart of gold. Seeing what the benefits did to her husband and her family, she has inspired and taught and coached and consulted many. She's been nationally recognized and is known for her work and her expertise in the CBD industry. So help me welcome to the stage the incredible, amazing Miss Brooke Alpert.
Thank you. That's the entrance I want everywhere. That's how I'm going to start walking into every room, even just the kitchen. That's what I'm doing.
I'm following you around. Just your husband is just following you around with a beatbox, just going at it. Love it. Welcome to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Thank you, Ms. Brooke, for being here. We appreciate you. We love you for what you've done and helped us get to a better place. Diving right in. You're welcome. I gotta ask. Tell us a little bit more about your journey with your husband and what started, because the doctors worked, the doctors didn't work. What happened there?
So my husband and I have been together just around 17 years now. And it's funny, in hindsight, looking back, there was always an issue. We just would blame it. Oh, his back was bad. Oh, we just never really knew what was going on. And it was after we had our first daughter, who's now 13, that his ability to walk and stand just got really progressively, it got harder and harder. And so that's when we ended up finally getting him diagnosed after years of seeing orthopedists and specialists. We finally went to a neurologist, and he was diagnosed with something that's called autoimmune peripheral neuropathy, which is really, it's just sort of like a term that covers anyone with like major pain in their legs and their feet and their hands. And we did everything. I mean, after my first daughter, he had a treatment that was very similar to chemotherapy. Didn't work. He was on enough medication to like basically knock a horse down. We really tried everything. And as a dietitian and a practitioner, it's really, really frustrating to see nothing working. He was given Vicodin and codeine, which doesn't make him the best father in those moments. And he really was not happy about being on them. So we really struggled. Those first couple of years after his diagnosis were quite a struggle.
Wow. I told y'all, she is incredible. And that's huge. And that's major. Nothing works. I see this huge shift, right? People are now waking up to the idea of holistic medicine. And that is now, it should have always been at the forefront. Western medicine is not working anymore. We can't continue to just supplement and treat. We have to do natural, what's good for our bodies. And so thank you for your incredible work and what you do. That's definitely a wake up call. That'd be a wake up call for me. Um, sure.
Absolutely. You know, like the medications he had. And look, I'm not against any sort of pharmaceuticals, but for him, the medications, the benefits didn't outweigh what all the side effects were. He was always coming down. He was always anxious about taking another one. He was very scared of becoming addicted. So it was really challenging. Being married to a dietitian when you have health problems is not fun, because once we've got there, I started putting him on some crazy diets. So like first it was subtle, like some gluten-free, then we went paleo, then I went to something called the Walls Protocol, where by the end he was basically eating like red cabbage and liver for most meals. And, you know, I'm really impressed he didn't divorce me. So that's something to say about the type of man I married, because you know, he was miserable, but I kept hoping that we would find relief. And, you know, he fired me as his dietitian, basically. He's like, just be my wife and the mom of my kids. Let's stay there. But like, I need to not eat what you're making me eat anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. So he stayed around for the liver, but he got rid of everything. He kept the wife. He got rid of everything else. So
Yeah.
what is CBD? Can you help break it down for us? Because I'm confused myself. CBD, is that marijuana? Is that the same thing, or am I completely way off?
No, I mean, you're not way off at all. And these are great questions. And I wish more people would just feel comfortable asking questions, because either they don't want to seem ignorant that they don't know, or there's like this stigma that they're associating with it, right? And so they're like, well, I don't want to be asking about pot, you know? So what's really interesting is we've got the cannabis plant. And as part of the cannabis plant, there's two different types of species of it. One is the cannabis proper, which is what turns into what we know as marijuana or pot or anything that can get you stoned or high. And then the other one is something called industrial hemp. And the only difference between the two is the amount of THC in them, right? THC is the psychoactive part of cannabis. And that's what gets you high, stones, and all the stereotypes and all, you know, and all of like in the movies that you see, right? Where like Cheech and Chong, or, you know, any of those Dazed and Confused movies. Both of those plants have pretty much the same like chemical makeup. The only difference is the amount of THC that's in there. So CBD is also found in traditional cannabis and marijuana, as well as hemp-based cannabis. The cannabis that I work with is from hemp. And the reason why it's federally legal and I can sell it and I can talk about it and I can ship it over state lines is because the amount of THC is in it is so minute that there's not enough to get you stoned or high. And the cool thing is that the amount that's in there helps CBD to work better. So asking about CBD specifically, is CBD is a compound that's found in the plant. And the science behind it is showing that it can like positively affect everything from insomnia to PTSD, to helping people wean off of opioids, to anything from emotional eating, binge eating, anxiety, pain relief, inflammation, pre and post-workout recovery. So we're really talking about a huge amount of conditions that CBD has been scientifically shown to help benefit.
And that's the magic in there. That's thank you for breaking that down. Did y'all see how she just broke that down? Like, she just a brain surgeon in there. She just went in there with her scalpel and she just took it apart. Thank you for that. For making that connection for us. I didn't know. And I assumed that all of it, right, gets you high. I thought all of it got you high. And that's not the case. So you're on the wellness track. This is strictly for my betterment, my general overall wellness. Why do people even need CBD? And you speak to this, you consult to this.
I do. You know, basically what I did when I started going back and becoming fascinated with CBD, it's when I saw what it could do for my husband. But when I was looking for a product for myself or for my patients in my office, which was like a wellness focused space, there was nothing that really felt like wellness. But the more research I was doing about CBD was showing that it truly is the ultimate wellness vitamin, right? So it might be 3 letters long. It's not just a vitamin A or a vitamin C, right? But vitamin CBD is incredible Because its ultimate job is to help your body remain in balance or in homeostasis, right? If we go back to like our 7th grade biology classes, homeostasis is about the power of your body keeping everything in balance.
Big words, big words.
Right?
Yep.
But CBD supports that, right? So it's like if you're on a balance beam trying to like, remain on your feet and not fall, CBD is what's helping you stay upright. And we can look at that in so many different ways, but that's its ultimate job. It helps you stay upright, right? It helps your body function. But so it's incredibly effective and incredibly helpful for a lot of people. It's not a magic. And again, if you have severe conditions and pharmaceuticals are what's working for you, there is no shame. There is nothing wrong with that. Western medicine has its beauty, but there are also plenty of things that we can do before we have to get there.
Very true. I need Western medicine to go away. I need more holistic nutritionists like yourself and experts like yourself to really be at the forefront. And that's what you do. How many different ways can I take in CBD, and what's the best way to consume it? Should I eat it? Should I get an insulin shot? Like, how do I put it? What's the best way to take CBD?
Well, look, if you need your insulin, it has nothing to do with CBD. Take your insulin.
Right.
We need to manage our blood sugar, right? But there's many different forms of CBD. So there's pills, there's tinctures, there's gummies, there's even vapes. And these are like the healthy style vapes, right? Because you can actually still smoke and get a very quick effect. And all of those can be great. The pills and tinctures are what I recommend for most people with chronic conditions, like my husband. For someone like me, or for someone, most of my practice, or most of the moms that I know, right, where we're all just healthy, but we just want to feel better, is why I created my powder. So Daily Habit CBD is a powdered form of CBD. And the cool thing is that our coconut base turns any sort of coffee or tea into like a creamy drink. It works like a non-dairy creamer. So by putting a scoop of Daily Habit into your coffee, right, it not only turns it into a daily ritual, so you're getting those benefits, but then you have a non-dairy creamy beverage, which is a really lovely way to start the day. So for me, I didn't want to take pills. I don't like tinctures because I don't like putting oil into my mouth. I wrote a book against sugar. I couldn't make a gummy, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. So I needed to create something that really felt authentic to me and where I thought there was something in the market that was missing. And that's where, Daily Habit came up. So yeah, that is my pretty little product right there. And it's a powder, and you scoop it, and you one heaping scoop or two, depending on the day. It's an excellent way to start a day.
And look at that. Look at that. That looks delicious. So I can consume this, I can drink it, and I can even put it in my food.
Yeah. So, baking with it, to me, like, it does take away some of the properties. Some of the CBD will get destroyed in the heat process, but that's always just a fun. I'm a baker, I'm a recipe developer, so I love to see what I can make with it. But I personally love it in my coffee and tea. When I have my coffee sitting at my desk and I drink my Daily Habit, we're now about 2 hours past my last cup of coffee. My focus and productivity is what I benefit the most from. So I tend to be the girl that has like 17 different screens open, and I'm like getting, I'm like, all right, once I finish this email, then I can look at this. And I'm sort of like all over the place. And the funny thing is, I don't have ADD or ADHD, but the science shows how effective CBD is for those conditions. So for someone like me that just can be a little out of focus, it's really effective. So for me, it's a morning coffee, sit at my desk and get it done.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I told y'all the expert herself. Round of applause. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, y'all. We got to pay some bills. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Good day, podcast listeners. This is your boy, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I wanted to let you guys know that we will be rolling out a new feature and adding a join sponsor button next to the subscriber button here at the bottom of your screen. Once you click the button, it will display 3 membership levels. Gentleman Gentry, which is our entry level, Duke Duchess, which is our season level, and the Emperor and Empress, which is our most sophisticated level, which you will receive unique perks and benefits at each differing level and gain access to our community tab. We will also be sharing polls, upcoming events, and interviews, as well as receive feedback from our sponsors directly. Your support helps me find new and exciting guests to bring to the stage live. Well, in order to get the higher end speakers, it requires, well, some, you guessed it, money. So thank you for tuning in to my channel. And if becoming a sponsor sounds good to you, then select the join button below and choose your desired sponsor level. Let's continue to grow and serve the future of generations of men and women to come. Love you guys. Bye. We're back and we have the incredible Miss Brooke Alpert, CBD expert, nutritionist, PhD, doctor, lawyer of the CBD world. That's what I call her. That's what I'm calling her today. Broke down how CBD benefits the general wellness and how we need this. We need this just like we need almost oxygen, right? We need it to stand up, and it keeps our body aligned and keeps our body functioning the way it's supposed to and helping that balance. And if you missed that, go back, scroll back and check her out. You don't want to miss her for the world. She's absolutely changing the way. She's changing my standpoint because I was afraid. I'll tell you, Miss Brooke, I was afraid of getting high because what you don't need is me on the show just slurring and drooling on myself, right? That's what we don't need on the Gentleman Style Podcast show today. And so, but you broke that mold. You broke that myth. Tell me, why will I get the munchies if I consume some CBD? Will I get hungry? And why is that? Why do I always get hungry? I mean, why would I get hungry? Why would I get hungry if I consume CBD?
Oh, God. All right. So THC, what we talked about, what's found in traditional cannabis, marijuana, whatever terms that we use for it. I prefer using the word cannabis for it. Right. THC is what gives you those psychoactive benefits, that feeling of being stoned or high, as well as stimulates that hunger, right? So the munchies. When you have a high amount of CBD in whatever product you're taking, whether it's traditional cannabis that can get you high or in the hemp that I work with, CBD and THC actually fight to get into the same spot, right? So it's like a funnel, right? They're both fighting like a traffic jam. So if you have high levels of CBD, even in the marijuana that you're consuming, you won't get as high or stoned, right? So for a lot of people dealing with pain, they work with a 1-to-1 ratio. So this way they can still function, but they're getting the pain relieving benefits as well from THC. The CBD that I work with in Daily Habit is the THC is such a minute amount. It's 0.3% or less, right? So that's teeny tiny. The marijuana that we talk about is like anywhere between like 15% to 25%. Anything more than that, you're going to be flat on the ground, but that's a personal opinion. So if you look at like the 15-20% compared to 0.3%, it's a super low amount. But what that tiny bit of THC does is actually helps CBD to work more effectively and efficiently. It's like a great little like wingman for it, right? But not enough of THC to get you high, stoned, or give you the munchies. The cool thing is that for a lot of us who tend to have overeating behavior, right? So for a lot of my patients in my practice who deal with binge eating or emotional eating, a lot of that stems from anxiety. So by taking a high quality CBD like Daily Habit or another brand, you actually can help reduce that anxiety, which then leads to better food choices. So the irony is using a cannabis-based product like CBD, and you can actually lose weight as a benefit from it. So it goes against so many of these stereotypes that we know.
So I've been doing it wrong. So I've just been eating emotionally. I've been doing this way wrong. I'm just eating because I want to eat. So I love food. And so that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And if you think like the last 2 years with all of us home so much, right? Anxiety has been like skyrocketing in communities. This has been a really stressful time. So we're all struggling with something that CBD can benefit from, or help you benefit from. So, even someone like I'm as health conscious as they come, but like my trips to that kitchen, I live in New York. So like my trips are like 10 steps, right? But like getting to that kitchen is way too tempting. A little bit of, carrots, sure, healthy, a little fruit, healthy. And then it's like my hands into that, peanut butter filled pretzels. Not to be too specific, but that's my thing right now. But
That was very specific.
it's an issue. I buy them at Costco and then I regret it. But then, but using CBD just kind of helps me chill out. It brings my shoulders down from being up here by my ears, right? I'm able to get my work done. It's like a personal assistant for me in some ways.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What do you see the trajectory of the United States making do you see every state adopting the practice and legalizing CBD in your professional opinion?
So right now, CBD, due to the hemp bill or the farm bill that was in 2018, is federally legal, which means I can ship to all 50 states. State by state has their own sort of rules. So I'm not sure exactly which states we're dealing with right now because it's ever changing. But for the most part, it's federally legal. So the administration in 2018, everything legalized when it came to CBD from hemp-based products. So again, that's the THC is not enough to actually get you high or stoned. That is now federally legal. What I'm seeing is a great progress when it comes to cannabis and medical marijuana and recreational marijuana use becoming more legal. And I actually think that's something really important because the more that becomes legal, the more research we could be doing on this plant and seeing how many more conditions that we can be helping. And the coolest thing for me is my grandfather was a Marine, and I feel very strongly for working, with vets. I volunteered for years at the Veterans Hospital here in New York City. We have so many vets that are coming home from war and they are ill-equipped to be reintroduced back to the lifestyle here. And often that turns into PTSD issues. It turns into pain and trauma issues. So many, exactly. Thank you for your service. So many of them, whether it's using CBD or medical marijuana, could be, set up for so much more success, whether they're on opioids due to injuries or issues. Medical marijuana or CBD can help them wean off of that safely. So there's such beauty that this plant that has been brutalized and stigmatized for years that can be doing to be helping people that have done such amazing things for our country.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Round of applause for Miss Brooke, y'all. Miss Brooke, you listed some. What are all the benefits? Are there any negatives or downsides to CBD use, or what are the pros? What are the cons?
The pros are pretty unlimited, right? And everybody will, react to CBD differently. So my husband and I can take the same exact product, or, we can, let's say, double his doses because he's larger than I am, but we'll have completely different benefits from it. It really depends on what your issue is. Where are you off balance? So for me, it's often my focus and my stress levels. So that's what CBD does for me. For somebody else, it could be anxiety. For someone like my husband, he benefits from his PTSD and pain issues. And for other people, it could be emotional eating. It could be trying to help them avoid drinking. It could be insomnia. There's so many benefits. Now, CBD is not a cure for anything. There really isn't a cure, right, for many of these issues. But CBD is a great helping hand, and the side effects are basically zero. Sometimes people get stomach upsets, but that would be anyone really starting a new supplement. That's something we always think about. But there's no hangover. There is no addiction. There is no, this is as safe as a supplement when it comes to all supplements that I have ever discovered.
Love it. Love it. Makes sense. So I think the United States is behind the ball on this. I think because you have other countries, other states. Canada, for example, has always used it, and then we saw the introduction in California, where they introduced CBD and hemp-based products, and they saw the big influx there, and how well the government saw the benefit because of the taxation that they were able to. But it's still relatively new to us, and so that makes sense why you do what you do. Do I need a prescription from a doctor to get your product?
No. Again, we're federally legal. So just like you can order from Amazon, as I see on your t-shirt, or just like you can order, any sort of like magnesium supplement or something, online, you can order CBD as well. Now, there are tons of products out there. They're not all created equal. So obviously I support my brands, but for someone like my husband or who needs, has a more serious chronic issue is when I would refer them to another brand. There are plenty of great brands out there, but just like anything, there's tons of really terrible brands with low efficacy, no transparency, no third-party testing, everything that we want to try to avoid.
Makes
So
sense.
be picky, be very picky about your CBD.
Absolutely. Be picky and vet the source.
Exactly.
Vet your sources, y'all. This is in no way, shape, or form. Don't go out there and get just anybody's brand. What is Delta 8 and why is that significant? I've recently come across it. Delta 8, what is that in relation to CBD based products?
It's another compound that's found in the plant. So not only is there CBD and THC, but there's Delta 8, there's terpenes, which are the scents that we get from essential oils. So that's why, like, if you back in the day, or you might have heard people referring to like marijuana products like, oh, is pineapple kush or blueberry this, right? So that's all from the terpenes. It's the scents and the aromas that has the benefits of essential oils in it. There's also CBN, CBG. So there's tons of all different components, and all of them, as we're able to do more research on them, we're finding that CBN is very effective for sleep. We're finding about Delta H is great with things like anxiety and pain. The more we research and the more that the government and the FDA will approve us researching this product, the more we're going to find. But we're just scratching the surface right now.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Miss Brooke, we got one more commercial break. We got to pay some bills, y'all. We'll be right back. But stay tuned. Stay with us. She is here to spill the tea.
If you're looking for a reliable professional trucking and logistics service, you've come to the right place. Musa Trucking is a veteran-owned and operated premier transportation provider that can help with all of your trucking and logistics needs. Musa is revolutionizing the trucking industry through strategic partnerships, the development of core personnel, and the use of cutting-edge technology. Our inventory system ensures that cargo ends up divided into the right trucks and reaching the correct destination. Our drivers are dedicated to transporting goods efficiently and safely. Contact us today to get started by visiting the website on the screen or by calling 757-756-5246.
We are back to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. We have the incredible, amazing Miss Brooke Alpert, and she's spilling the tea on how CBD is necessary. That's what I'm getting all out of this. How it's necessary for the functionality. Too many times we supplement. Western medicine will tell you, oh, you have this owie, take this. You have this other owie because of this, take this. This is a more holistic approach. This is a more natural approach that aligns with your body versus working against it and throwing everything off. If you missed that, go back, tune back, and check Miss Alpert out. She is necessary. Miss Alpert, what would you say to that young man, that young woman out in the audience who is struggling with anxiety, and how can they connect with you? How can my audience connect and learn more about what you're doing? Because you also consult as well.
I do consult. I do more nutrition consulting than anything else. Most of my CBD work is all with Daily Habit. But there's a lot of things that you can do if you're struggling with anxiety, right? Number one, really rehaul your diet. Food and what you put in your body has a huge effect on our mental wellness, right? And that's something that we all, I think, learned the hard way 2 years ago at the beginning of the pandemic, right? Where all of a sudden it's like, let's just eat ourselves sick and then my anxiety is worse, right? So it's really important, working on foods like high omega-3s, so eating really good quality salmon and fish would be really beneficial for you. So all of that is something really good. Take out the stimulants, take out the alcohol, take out the coffee, anything like that that's triggering is really smart to remove from your diet. But CBD can help. It's not a cure. You're not going to take it once and it's all going to be better. It's a cumulative effect that can help you manage your anxiety. Now, I always recommend starting with CBD first. However, if it is too hard for you, if it is too much, again, I feel there's zero shame with needing pharmaceutical help when you get to that point. But if you are not struggling that badly and you want to try to nip it in the bud with more holistic, natural ways, using Daily Habit, or if you need higher doses, a brand like Charlotte's Web, as I always recommend, would be really, really beneficial. But give it like 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks. Let it settle into your body. Keep a journal about how your emotions are feeling. Keep your journal as a scale of anxiety, how you're doing each day on a scale of 0 to 10. And this way you can know what's helping you and what's not.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I love that. And how can we connect with you? How can my audience learn more about what you're doing and the work you're doing and impacting everyone's life?
My entire life story basically is on our website at dailyhabitcbd.com, or come follow us on Instagram, where we tend to post the most at dailyhabitcbd. So find us there.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Ms. Brooke, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for the impact and the world-changing CBD, introduction of CBD that you're doing. You are necessary. And I want to say this to you publicly. Don't ever quit. We need you. We need what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you. That means a lot. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. That means a lot. I hope this message has helped you guys. I hope this helps. This has helped me. This has helped me realize that I've been doing it wrong and I've been emotionally eating. That was personal. I felt attacked, y'all. But I need that. I need that. I need that. So it's good. It's all good. But truly, if you are on the fence, if you are struggling with anxiety, depression, take a look at her website. Check out her website. Can we get that back on the big screen, please? Let's get that back on the big screen. Check out her website and check out the work she's doing. She doesn't just give you a product. She gives you the science behind what she's doing. And again, it's done wonders for her and her family. So check her out, get connected, stay connected on Instagram and her website. Like I always end every show, take care of your family, take care of your friends, and always take care of business. This is Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show, and the incredible, the amazing, super fragilistic, expialidocious Miss Brooke Alpert signing off. Love you guys. Bye.